Hey everybody, Guy here from Chit Chat. Thanks for continuing to listen to the podcast as we head into, I think, episode 86 today. But really, this is episode 2 of this kind of like new format, and we're having a blast with it. It's been really, really fun going out in St. Cloud, and this is a podcast ultimately about Central Minnesota. And so, heading out into our community, eating a little food, drinking a little coffee in our community, it's been fun for these two. And so, thanks for kind of going on this literal and figurative ride with us. My guest today was Sandy. Sandy started Well and Company 5 years ago. It's a direct primary care business with a med spa, and I think it's fascinating. I think she's fascinating. I got to hear her speak a little over a year ago. That'll come up in the podcast. But I think what her and her team are doing I think it's really special and really, really fun. And I'm excited for you to hear this podcast now. And ultimately, I continue to be fascinated by people who are working hard in our community to do something different, to do something special. And what that does, if they do their job well, it makes our community better. And Sandy is doing just that. And the conversation was a treat. And I'm so thankful for it today. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Guy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. This is, as you and I were just chatting, but this is episode 86, I think, of the podcast. Gentlemen, is it 86? Where yet? But episode 2 of this kind of new style. Thank you for your flexibility and your willingness to jump in and try something new and go for a little drive and drink some coffee, all of that. Thank you. Really sweet to have you here with us. And by here, I do mean at Legends, at Holiday Inn. Thanks to the Legends team for letting us come and film here and for having a great breakfast. Okay, Sandy, I heard you speak. Actually, this is maybe even kind of fun to know too. Until Sandy and I met just here now, I had never even talked to Sandy before. Mm-hmm. But I've heard you speak twice. You hosted Chamber at your Sartell location a little over a year ago, and then again in St. Joe just a number of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And after that first one in Sartell, I thought to myself, man, she's so smart. I love DPC, so I can't wait to talk about that. Mm-hmm. And just what you guys are doing is really, really fun. And I thought, it'd be really fun to have her on the podcast. And so here we are a year later. Thanks for coming on.
Well, yeah, it just speaks to, you just got to have a Maria. And she coordinated this all probably within a week of connecting with her. Everyone needs a Maria in their life. Yep. She tells me where to go and I go.
That's right. That's so good. Everybody needs, that's right. Okay, so Well & Co. or Well & Company. What?
Branding 5 years ago, I'm like, it won't be Well & Co. Mm-hmm. It's Well or Well & Company. Yep. Everyone calls it Well & Co.
How does Sandy feel about that?
Just fine.
Okay. Our coffee shop, Kinder, mm-hmm. Kinder. Mm-hmm. There's so many Germans in the area. There's the chocolate called Kinder. Mm-hmm. People often will call it Kinder. And I don't even correct anybody. Like if they ask how's it pronounced, I'll gladly tell them. I feel like if you're saying it, what could I possibly care, Yep, exactly. So maybe it's similar with Well & Company. Yes. Okay, med spa and direct primary care. Did I say that correct?
Yep, primary and urgent care.
All right.
Which is a DPC model.
Yep.
We'll chat about that. And then medical aesthetics is a subspecialty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so on our podcast, we have had some docs from Centricare. Mm-hmm. Ken Holman, the executive director. So we have big hospital network kind of represented. We've had Aslan Health on, nice. and some others. And I think that healthcare is a unique thing in that literally every single person in the world, every single person in our community touches and engages with healthcare and medicine in some capacity. Mm-hmm. I also think it's a fascinating, just in general, it's a fascinating conversation. Just because like the funding models are all so different and conflicting, and there's drama around it in our political conversation. It's everywhere in so many ways. And so whenever I see people that are doing something different and unique, and I think it's really, really fun. So it's one of the reasons I'm excited to have you on and for you to talk about what you guys are up to and DPC. So preamble done. Would you maybe just tell me a little bit more about what is Well & Co? Why did you start it? And then I'd love to chat a little bit about DPC, direct primary care, as well.
Absolutely. there's no quick elevator pitch, right? Yeah. When it comes to this, because the complexities, just as you spoke to, are significant.
Yeah.
How Well & Company came to be was, I was in traditional medicine actually at Centricare for a few years, and as a nurse practitioner in family care and hospital medicine and emergency department, loved it. I can say I'm fortunate that my vocation is absolutely what I'm meant to be doing. With that being said, in the 10 years at that time I'd been in healthcare, the evolution of healthcare was shifting fast.
Yeah.
Right? From, I loved being a nurse. I loved being a CNA as my first job in healthcare.
How old were you?
17.
Okay. So like you're in high school.
Yeah.
And then you leave
senior, and
you leave high school at 3, and then you go to do CNA stuff from 3 to
essentially through grad school.
Oh. Okay.
Or through undergrad nursing school until I'm a nurse. Then I'm practicing. I'm working as a nurse. Love it. Still wasn't where I wanted to be. I knew as a freshman in college I wanted to be a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
I actually got sick at school at NDSU.
Okay.
And went to the school clinic, and it was a nurse practitioner. I'd never heard of one, and that's what I want to do. So that was the path I took, and excited to start practicing. And again, what I started to experience was this conflict of conscience, right? As you start to get a little more experience, a little more comfort in healthcare as you're practicing, you see these nuances and the changes and the access to care and the cost of care. And the ultimate cost was individuals' health, along with the environment for healthcare professionals too. The demand was getting greater.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think I can be in family practice for 30 years doing this. And I've got this motto, if I complain about something more than twice, if I'm going to complain a third time, I'm done complaining, or do something about it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah. You can be in that woe is me for a minute, and then, I'm going to complain again, but maybe start contemplating action. By that third time, if I'm not making action,
it's on you.
It's on you. So be quiet.
I love that. I absolutely.
Stop complaining.
Yeah, I absolutely love that.
I'm not that harsh with patients by any means, but I have way more grace.
For yourself.
But for myself, that is just what it was. And I was like, okay. And so it was certainly, I'm faith-based. And at the time I was not in faith, but I'll tell you, it was 4 a.m. I was nursing my 4-month-old child, and this impression on my heart to start Well & Company. I had no business. I was sleep deprived, doing 24-hour shifts, and it was persistent. And if you've ever experienced that, you can't run, or you can try to run from it, but it persists.
Yeah.
And so here I was, within 6 months, opened up Well & Company.
Wow. So from this moment of holding your baby to Well & Company starting was only 6 months.
6 months.
And where was your first location?
Alexandria.
Okay.
So we opened May of 2020 in Alexandria.
What a unique time in our world to start
It was terrifying.
A practice. Yeah.
It was, and many had said after, COVID, essentially March, COVID happened, and everyone's like, are you still going to do this? No one really believed I was going to anyways. I was like, yeah, absolutely. You felt so sure. Little naive, probably like you go into parenting, I've got this.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is wild.
Yeah. Had you ever started a business of any kind before?
No.
No. Wow, good for you.
Yeah, I truly advocate for going to school for business if you're going to, in some capacity, be running one. But it was a lot of learning on the job and leaning into professionals within my community that could help me.
Wow, very, very cool. So, nurse practitioner.
Yep.
And an RN. Is a nurse practitioner in RN with another degree?
Yes, exactly.
And that additional degree allows you to have more autonomy than what an RN can do.
Yep. In Minnesota, nurse practitioners have full practicing autonomy. So that means we can see and prescribe like other family practice MDs. Do
nurse practitioners have to, like in a normal system, do they have to have their own malpractice, or does the malpractice insurance come through an MD? So like when I was at Centricare, for example, so I always carried my own. Okay. You're always encouraged, even as a nurse and a nurse practitioner, to carry your own, and then the facility has their own as well for you. As Well & Company, I carried malpractice for all of our providers. Yeah. Because I thought that was maybe I'm thinking of like a physician's assistant, a PA. Yeah, so a PA has practices, and they're working, I can't speak to their association and nuances. I know they're working on more autonomy, but they still have to be practicing under an MD. Okay. So I can't hire a
physician's assistant.
Because you're not a physician.
Exactly. So I would have to have a medical director or MD to hire a PA, but I can hire NPs.
Fascinating. All right.
Because we have full practicing autonomy.
Could you help me understand, like, what are some differences between a PA and a NP? Like, what can one of them do that the other one can't do?
At a functioning level in family practice, for example, because that's what I'll speak to. I'm family practice trained, and what I've been doing for almost 10 years is essentially same, right? Yeah. Other than having, thank you so much.
So much. Really, really appreciate it a lot.
The serving sizes, you were right.
Yeah, they're huge.
We could have split.
We could have absolutely split.
But practicing wise, it just comes down to whether an MD is overseeing a PA's practice versus an autonomous NP. In Minnesota, nurse practitioner has 2008 or 80, don't quote me, hours where that charts have to be overseen for their first year of practice, essentially. So I've hired new NPs, and then we have MD sign off.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And so you guys have three. You have three. Clinic, is clinic the right word? 3 offices, 3.
Two. Yes. We moved our Sartell to St. Joe.
I thought that St. Joe was in addition to Sartell. Okay, got it.
No.
And so your Alexandria and your now St. Joe location, clinic, office. What's the right?
Clinic.
Yeah. How are they? Are they similar? Do they do all of the same things? Are they different in some kind of capacity?
They're incredibly similar.
Okay.
They both have, at its foundation, a primary and urgent care clinic side, and then medical aesthetic side, and we have staffing for both.
Yeah. The medical aesthetic and urgent care, they seem like just drastically different business models.
They are.
Tell me about what that, what is it like to run a business like that, where it is so different? The people that are walking in the door are so drastically different probably, or could be so different. What's that like?
So at its root, like operating a business, right? I'm going to a bank and I've got to say, how am I going to make money?
Yeah, right.
Family practice isn't sexy.
Yeah.
It's going to take years to make money.
Sure.
And even in the DPC model, we only operate at a 10% margin to match that of quality, affordable, and accessible healthcare. So to pay the bills, right, medical aesthetics or most independent practices have another form of revenue production. And when I was developing the model of Welling Company, women drive 80% of healthcare. We make healthcare choices in the family, outside of the home, et cetera. So how this...
Even for husbands too, right?
Only for husbands.
Okay, okay. I mean...
It's like, my husband and I still joke. We're in the throes of like business planning, arguing at 2 a.m, and he's like, why do you need a chandelier in the waiting room? And I'm like,
yes,
women.
Yes.
If they feel comfortable and drawn to the space, they will bring their families and their children. Wow. It took years to prove that. Yeah. And now he's like, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
It's fine. So he didn't buck me too bad on the St. Joe design.
Yeah, that's good.
You guys do learn. And so, but when it comes down...
A little slow, but we learn.
And that's fine. I've got grace and patience for that. But really, 80% of our family practice in Alexandria grew from women being seen in our med spa. They're like, oh, you can be my primary care provider, or you can see me quick for this sinus infection, whatever. So
they got good care. They got good care there. Wanted good care for their other more,
like their significant others.
And they're kind of like normal healthcare things too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden, then I would say it was, in a marketing perspective and business wise, we grew significantly quicker in the medical aesthetic arena. So we had to counter this, aren't you guys just a med spa? In a small community, you guys just do women care, right?
Right.
Why would a man walk in there? And so there was a lot of targeted marketing towards that.
That's good.
Part of the business plan, we are employer health clinics, or employer health clinics. So we serve over 25 companies now as their primary facility for their employees to come to. This is the first year we have more males in our practice than we do men, or than we do women. Oh my gosh, more men than we do women. And it's because of that business dynamic.
Wow.
But that's evolved over the last 5 years.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hearing you say, like, as you're planning, you're up in the night planning, revenue models and, all of that stuff. I think people don't often think about healthcare, right? Like, healthcare is this like big giant thing. Like it's colossally big. Like our politicians talk about it. Sometimes I think it doesn't feel like a business, right? But there are so many people that are running like small practices and small clinics that are, not only are they trying to provide good healthcare, but they are also like, they're running businesses and they're paying taxes and finding their own insurance and all that stuff. And I think sometimes just as consumers, we don't necessarily think about the like small business aspect of medicine. We just think about like big business, like colossal stuff.
And I love that. I'm going to piggyback off that, because as I was within traditional medicine, all I felt like it was the business of medicine, the business of healthcare. It was becoming dehumanized. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're not a human as a provider. You're just like seeing another patient, right? And it was like, how do we bring the human response back to healthcare again? How do I have patients feel comfortable bringing up their problems so we can actually talk about prevention? Being vulnerable in appointments is a big deal. And so bringing that human response back and taking it out of the business of healthcare. Yes, I'm still operating a business. Yes, we still have margins. We still need to pay rent. But bringing back that human response is where I fell in love with DPC.
I think the irony is awesome that because of how that medicine was feeling so transactional and so businessy, you decided to start a business so that you could not run it like a business. And I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
The first thing I hired when I could afford it was a fractional CFO. Yeah. I mean, I don't, I'm more strategy, and tactical is not where I shine by any means. And so as soon as I could hire that so they could run and we could make smart financial decisions. But again, many people have asked, well, when are you going to stop seeing patients, Sandy, and run these businesses? Like, never. I did this so I can only see patients.
Yeah.
I'll never only see patients, but there's business nuances. But when it comes down to it, it's the heart of caring for people.
Do you have an operations person? Like, have you hired like a...
Finally, yes.
Yeah, good for you.
So it's been a fun year. I mean, you read every book, you're like, oh, by year 5, things start feeling easier. They're not necessarily easier, it's just not everything's brand new.
Yeah.
And we felt that. We have an operations team.
Yeah.
Which I'm so grateful for.
Yeah.
The most wonderful staff.
And they don't have a medical background, or they do have medical background?
No medical background.
I think there's something that's like so awesome about that. And it happens to be our little world as well, but our operations guy, Taylor, business partner, one of my very best friends, he would say that he isn't a creative, right? Like in the way that we kind of use the word creative in our world, he would say that he's not creative. Taylor is unbelievably creative. Right. He thinks about numbers and systems and structures and how to organize stuff, and okay, that's a problem. Like, let's build a plan to like solve that problem, right? And having him inside of our world is incredible. And he also gets to bring like an outsider's perspective too. Yes. Even when we're talking sometimes when we're in a similar way, when we're talking with clients, let's say we jump in on, a bank or something, right? Like, I'm not a banker. Like, I don't know anything about banking. And so as you're explaining this to me, right? Like, if I'm going to help you communicate, like, you have to win me first, right? Like, if you use jargon and industry terms and the knowledge that you have by being in that world 40 to 50 hours every single week for however many decades you've been in it, you can communicate in a kind of way that doesn't allow you to actually engage with people. Yeah. So you got to get through your marketing person first. And I feel that similar with Taylor as our operations guy, he just gets to provide a perspective in our world that is so invaluable. So kind of cool that you also don't have a medical person inside your world there.
And it's so necessary. I think there's so many things about entrepreneurship, being in healthcare, being a parent, being a human, humility, right? Yeah. Every day, humble pie. And as you experience that, you're just like, okay, I'm not good at everything. What am I good at? And then how do I surround myself from people that can help support this? Because you guys wouldn't be successful either, probably without Taylor.
No way.
You can be the most creative individuals, but without that element to round out the whole system, it's not going to be successful.
It's so funny. Switchboard started with Ryan and I. So we have 2 business partners, Ryan and Taylor. And it was just Ryan and I at the very beginning. Ryan's a creative, I'm a creative. And neither of us have any interest in doing any of the things that Taylor does. And not only is Taylor willing to do them, he's like really good at it, you know? And so for sure, seeing this, man, that's a skill set that I'm so thankful it exists, because we need it, and I don't have any of it. Like that's a thing that I don't do. My brain doesn't work like that. Yeah. Okay. Direct primary care. Yep. DPC. I bet you I got familiar with DPC maybe in the last decade or so. Okay. Do you have any idea, like, how long has DPC been a thing? I don't have any recollection as a kid of ever hearing about like different kinds of clinics or, you know, DPC as a model, but in the last 10 years or so I did. When did it start?
Really, I believe it was around the 80s.
Oh.
I mean, with that term, direct primary care. And I've spent the last almost 6 years now in the marketing world trying to market DPC. It's tough.
Yeah.
It really is, because you've got the complexities and nuances of terminology within healthcare. What it comes down to is like the old way of practicing. We don't take insurance necessarily for the actual visits, but we live in an insurance world. So we're still billing, doing prior authorizations for meds, getting referrals for surgical interventions. It's just the practice itself doesn't take insurance. And DPC at its root is that. No, we could get into a whole conversation about hybrid DPC, where Simplicity Health, for example, here is hybrid. They do like a 1% DPC model, the rest 99% traditional, right? So you can be hybrid, we're a pure DPC, where we can provide super bills for reimbursement for visits, but our visits with the provider itself aren't covered. You don't need a membership to be seen.
But you can get a membership?
Yes. And the membership, right, that's that concierge-like model. Is like, we're available 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. for our members, holidays, weekends, evenings, for acute care needs primarily, right? And it's that personal relationship you can develop with your healthcare team that a lot of individuals are interested in.
And so in that model, you're paying monthly for it, like a gym membership.
You got it.
If you go to the gym, you're utilizing it. If you don't go to the gym, it's still there ready for you when you need it.
You got it.
Right? And am I right in saying, like, the goal of that thing is that if you know that it's accessible and available to you, that when you feel that little niggling of a thing or that little like, oof, I don't know if that feels normal, that rather than just like sweeping it under the rug or forgetting about it, and maybe it growing into something that's like worse or more severe, you actually go in and you get, is that kind of
That's exactly
the goal of it?
The goal of it in primary care is prevention of disease. People are getting sicker. Working in ER, you see sicker individuals. When I was there, and I was like, why didn't you come in? Couldn't afford it. I was afraid of the bill, right? And rightfully so, we can now do things in traditional medicine like double bill, and all of a sudden you get a $680 charge, and you're like, well, are my needs even met? Do I really have a plan of care in place? And so I think there's certainly room for existing both models. It's just not for everybody. And individuals that want to be a little more proactive, I feel fortunate a lot of our patient population want to be very proactive about their health.
Yeah. I bet you the people that are interested I bet you see way more of the proactive kind of minded person than maybe in traditional healthcare. They're coming to you for a reason. They want to be able to stay on top of that.
Oh, absolutely. I the first 2 years I prescribed less medications.
Yeah.
They're like, no, what else can I do? Oh, which was wonderful. You learn so much from patients too. It's like when they're demanding more of you than just kind of algorithmically what you're used to. That's very exciting too.
Yeah. My wife, she's not, she's a little crunchy. She's not like super crunchy, but she's a little crunchy. She loves to learn. She loves to read. If she feels something in her body, she's going to learn about it and read about it. She wants all the information. And she got reading about something in relationship to cholesterol. Some number came back, and it just was like, oh, I should learn about that thing. And then she learned that there's some of these like kind of tests and stuff that you can do. And she went to her doctor, and the doctor said, we don't do those tests. And like after everything that my wife read, she was just like, it's just it's information that would help me make a good decision about my body, and like, just why won't you do it? You know, like, I think there's some of that like and maybe it's the internet, just information being so accessible that makes people a little more wary if you go into a bigger healthcare system, someone just like is kind of like unwilling to listen to you or engage.
And that's what I hear every day, right? And that's where we get a lot of our patients. It's like I went on average, for example, I'm trained in hormone care for men and women, and on average, a female takes 6 visits to start getting help for perimenopause, for example. 6 visits, that's crazy. If you start talking about time, it's crazy she took away 6 visit worth away from her family and work because it's not common. They're so discouraged by the time. And how I train the providers that work for Well, how I speak with patients is, one, we provide time during appointments. I can empathize with traditional healthcare. You're seeing 25 patients a day. Who, please don't bring up another concern. And let alone the idea of continuing education, keeping up with rapidly evolving information. It's all daunting. It's like, that's why burnout happens in healthcare. I really wanted an area where I was encouraged and excited about learning, had time to learn and time to work with my patients with what I've learned. So, for example, that whole risk stratification for atherosclerotic disease, like your wife is talking about. There's new tests coming out that are now becoming standard of care. Healthcare takes a little bit to implement new things. All of a sudden, you've got a decade pass by of generational providers that haven't learned this yet, or they learned and they don't have time to incorporate in their practice. So the ability to, one, provide time to have these conversations with patients. What I love is when they come in, they're like, I'm sorry, I found this on the other day. I had a patient go, I put my test results into ChatGPT. These are the prompted questions they have for me, and I'm curious. Do you know, that would have spiraled me in traditional healthcare, knowing this was going to be a 45-minute conversation. I had an hour and a half with her. We could go through every single one and say, well, this is why I would do this. This is why I wouldn't. This is why this would apply to you. This, and all of it is, you're right, is information. It's, and do you know how well cared for they feel in those moments? We're like, I guess I don't need a full body MRI today. Okay, but we can do X, Y, Z.
I think even that little example about how AI was used there, it feels like kind of the best of both worlds, right? Like there was information that was valuable, like using information in the way that you can is good, and then having that tempered by someone with a knowledge base. Because if you just read the results on WebMD or now on ChatGPT, you might be like, schedule my scans, schedule all of them.
All of it.
It's all bad. But if you take that information and temper it with a good relationship with a healthcare provider that knows you, has a history with you, isn't trying to just like shoo you out the door in 10 minutes, it feels like the consumer, the client, the patient actually wins in that way.
But absolutely, and I always say the educated consumer makes my job more fun. Right? We're not teaching you what a green bean is and what protein. We're like talking at these next level. Risk stratification, that's awesome. That's mutual decision making that you both can feel good about at the end of the day.
So just kind of like from the business side, what are some of the things that you've learned in the last 5 years that kind of like caught you off guard, or that you weren't really prepared for? You didn't know it would have to be a thing that you have to tackle when you were kind of staying at the beginning, looking forward. What surprised you?
First and foremost, how eager people were for this model of care. When we opened, we were the 3rd DPC in Minnesota. Now there's almost 40, right?
Whoa.
It's big. It's growing, right? And
was one of those 3 here?
Yes. So that was my Sartell location. I did a purchase of assets from Sartell Family Medicine, and so he was the first or second, and then Simplicity was the first or second. I don't want to misquote who came first. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But and it's just growing, and so I didn't realize the need at the time. So I underestimated how much work needed to go into standard of operations, preparedness, HR, employing human beings, being responsible for their families, making sure their onboarding, their experience, it was all so much. It really was. And I thought I'd have time to do it because I didn't think I'd be busy.
And then you got busy.
And I was busy.
That's cool.
So it was a little bit so that was the biggest thing. But I would say I mentor a lot of individuals that are looking to go into entrepreneurship.
How do you do that? What does that look like for you?
Emails.
Yeah, okay.
So my daughter, so-and-so, can you talk with her? Absolutely. I love having those conversations because I like to be transparent. It's the hardest thing you will ever do other than being a parent. 100%. And you've got to love it because you can tell within 15 minutes of talking with someone if they're going to make it as a business or not.
Sure.
You can take my model and sure, it relatively seems successful. If you don't have heart for it, it will go nowhere.
Yeah.
And
it'll kill you.
And it will, absolutely. It almost killed me and I loved it, right? And so the importance and the responsibility and the patience required. I think social media today, our society in general, I don't like generalizations, but likes instant gratification.
Yeah.
If after a year you were feeling discouraged, absolutely you should be. You can't develop respect within a community, respect with patients, collegiality overnight. That only comes with time and making sure your walk matches your talk and outcomes are what they are. And you don't start feeling that for years.
Yeah.
So I would say that was, you read about it, you anticipate it. That was one of the biggest curves was patience. Just being patient.
With your patients.
And my personal patience and human beings' patience and across the board and knowing that something goes wrong every day.
Yeah.
It's just the creative way in how you address it.
For sure.
You learn from them every time.
And the longer you're in it, the more people, if you hire well, the people that you continue to surround yourself with, the challenges that come feel less and less daunting because you've continued to surround yourself with skill sets and people who can help you strategize and make plans. And I think that's been one of the sweetest things as our business has grown. Just our team is also growing, like not even just in number, but like their skill sets. Yes. With each passing year that they stay, they become more and more and more just valuable and helpful, and it's just sweet. It's just sweet to like watch them grow in their careers too, and then help in the business.
We had an interviewee the other day ask us a question, which I always appreciate. I was like, what's your favorite thing about working for Well? And I had to sit there for a second, and it was certainly...
The person that was interviewing asked you that? Oh, that's so good.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I love those good questions. And I was like, it was certainly to watch my employees and peers grow.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, watching them grow and step into roles they're uncomfortable with. My leadership team, one's a nurse practitioner that had no experience in leadership and actually very uncomfortable for her, but she had a skill set that was, if we poured into and were patient with, would grow, and she has significantly. And at each one of our team members over the years, I think reflectively, the 5-year mark was in May. I get a little sentimental with the crew. It's like, this grew from just a midnight thought to watching you all grow and make impact at micro and macro levels is the most rewarding part of this all.
Yeah. Sandy, this is great. Yeah. It's fun to learn a little bit more about your business. Can we go get a cup of coffee?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go. Let's go do it. Story is the driving force for us here at Switchboard. Story is also the reason that Chit Chat exists. We tell stories of the people around us through photos, videos, branding, and websites. Story helps us find meaning, and it draws a community together, and we would love to help tell your story. You can find us at www.switchboard.mn. We would love to meet you. We'd love to talk with you and learn more about the story that you are trying to tell and how our story-driven marketing tools can help you communicate better. Can't wait to talk to you soon.
Just trying to gauge where WWE was in their reign at that time.
Yeah, and here's the deal. It maybe wasn't even called WWE. There's a chance it was called WWF or who knows? Who knows? Oh. Okay, little coffee.
Yeah.
What kind of coffee? What's your go-to?
Just like an Americano.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty
Decaf
simple.
or regular?
Regular.
All right.
Yeah.
I was a regular guy forever, and then once we started the coffee shop, which is 3.5 years ago, our old studio was in Cooper Collective, which is right behind, and we put a back door. We cut a hole and back door into Cooper just so that we could get in and out easy. And so I had, from where my office was to where good hot coffee was. And not even hot, it was cold brew. It was nitro.
I do love nitro cold brew.
And it wasn't even because I wanted more caffeine. I wasn't going because I wanted caffeine. It just was tasty and delicious, and I was drinking multiple nitros a day.
Jeez.
And I have, for my whole life, I've slept great. I don't have sleep issues, and I was just up in the night. I mean, every single night I was waking up in just like for an hour or something in the middle of the night, and I'm reading about it. And apparently, in this literature, there was some in old literature. They found people talking about 2 sleeps because there was no electricity. You went to bed when the sun went down, right? But then the sun, especially in northern climates, the sun didn't come up for a really long time, and so like it's too much time to like be sleeping, and so people would wake up in the middle of the night. They would light a candle for like an hour, right? Because you don't want you got to be really stingy with candles and all that stuff. And then they'd be productive. And I'm like, am I regressing somehow to this thing? Am I supposed to be, is this what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to like do my emails? Yeah. But then you're looking at a screen, which isn't good.
It's not candlelight.
It's not candlelight. Warm and inviting, like lulling you back to sleep. Why don't you go get go get 4 more hours, something like that. And then I don't remember where I was. And I was in public, and I overheard, I think it was these 2 women talking, and I heard one of them say to the other one, "Oh, I just have not been sleeping well lately." And the other woman said, "How much caffeine do you drink?" And she's like, "Well, I drink a lot of coffee." She's like, I was sleeping absolutely terribly, and my doctor said that it was because of caffeine. And I cut it cold turkey, and all of my sleep stuff went away. And I just thought to myself, could it be?
Could it be my nitro?
Could it be the 500 milligrams of caffeine I'm probably consuming every day? And so I cut it cold turkey.
Cold turkey too.
And I had a solid headache. I did all the things, right? I drank a lot of water. I took Tylenol if I needed, whatever. Yep. I had a solid headache for a week. Just brutal. Absolutely brutal. And and now, like, if I'm traveling and there's like a really fun little coffee shop, like it's cute and quaint, and like they do, like, I'll for sure get a little cortado.
Okay.
Like I'll taste something really tasty every once in a while, but for the most part,
Otherwise, you just do decaf.
Really? All the time. Yeah.
Good for you. And you sleep wonderful, I'm assuming?
I sleep wonderful. It all went away. It all got better, which is so great.
No, I still have 400 milligrams of caffeine a day.
That's so much.
It is.
When do you start?
6:30 a.m.
Okay. And then
my last one is at 3 p.m.
Okay. Because this is what I learned. The half-life of caffeine is really long. So you drink it at 3, and it's still in your system doing stuff at, is it 6 hours, 8 hours? Yeah.
I've never, even in all the years, and you can probably speak to running some businesses, I've really only had 3 sleepless nights for stress related, right? Otherwise, I sleep like a baby.
Yeah. And, when you work hard, like when you're working really hard, it's hard to not sleep hard. Those 3 that you can think of, were they staffing related? Was it something looming in the business, a big decision? Like, what were the kinds of things that actually...
2 were staffing, and 1 was like a business decision, partnership, like...
Do you do it?
Financial.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Yep.
You guys have the best cookies here. Do you still have a Reese's peanut butter? Chocolate peanut butter?
We don't have them right now. Hey, could I get a decaf Americano hot, a non-decaf, just like a regular Americano, hot or cold?
Hot.
Both hot. One regular, 1 decaf. On switchboard, please and thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, okay.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I have lots of flaws and faults, but like stress and worry isn't something that I deal with a lot.
How's it going?
Really good. How are you?
Not too bad. It's a good day.
Good. This guy's getting married tomorrow.
Oh, congrats.
Tomorrow. Go away.
Yeah, why are you here?
From the work group chat for next week. I was typing up a thank you for the group chat. Oh, thank you. Remove. It was the funniest thing last night.
I told you could come back in a week.
I know.
I just wanted us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to be able to text next week in the group chat without him like thinking about it.
I was gonna mute it anyway, so that works.
Good.
Thank you.
Good.
I appreciate it.
Well, congratulations again.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really exciting.
I'm gonna go back and make my burritos.
Okay, all right. Bye, buddy. Good to see you.
That's awesome.
He's a sweet dude. Really, really sweet dude. His grandparents go to my church, and they are chatty. You know, like they love coming in, talking to me about how wonderful Daniel is, and I happen to be in full agreement.
I support, so it's not a hard conversation to have.
No, but it was, and I didn't know when we hired him. I didn't know who his grandparents were, and his grandma came up to me and she's like, "So," and I was like,
"What?"
Yeah, and I was like trying to like figure it out from her, and eventually we got there that her grandson had started work there, and even then I was like, "But who's your grandson?"
What church do you guys go to?
We go to Calvary.
Okay.
Right down. Yeah. Actually, from here I can see.
That little.
Can you see the little red roof triangle? It's kind of fun. How about you? Do you guys go to church?
We do in Alexandria Covenant.
Alexander Covenant.
Yep.
I'm not familiar.
No.
Do you guys live in Alec? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you grow up there?
Oh, I moved over 12 times growing up, but I graduated.
Or
no,
like what? No,
just gypsy life.
Okay.
That's what it was. But we graduated high school from Alexandria.
Okay.
So.
When you say we.
Oh, me and my twin. I have another half.
Really?
So I always refer to we. So, yes, we graduated high school from there.
Wow. Is your twin sister or brother?
Sister.
And I have this working theory that having a twin prepares you for marriage in a kind of way that not having a twin.
Oh, I could believe that.
Like sometimes when I see like the way twins, like their lives are like intermeshed and like the reliance that they have on each other and the things they do for each other, it feels...
The understanding.
Yeah.
Inevitably, I mean, now we can say we're yin and yang. We're different in ways, right, that you have to learn to work with. But she manages our med spa. And so we did marriage counseling the first couple months we were open together.
The two of you guys. Oh, that's so good. To like make it through. To
learn how to communicate at a business level. Professional level. And it was the most helpful thing we've ever done. We've only gotten into a couple hard conversations, but they're fine.
Yeah. And so you said learning how to communicate better. Is it learning what to say and then also what not to bring in?
Yes.
Like we're sisters here, but like let's not bring that thing in.
Yes, this happened as children. It doesn't mean.
And we're 30 today. We could talk about it later. This weekend. Let's drink a glass of wine. We could talk about that.
It's not a roundabout way purchasing a laser. How it deals with you not getting a turn at age 5. Yeah. Okay, like let's figure this out. So
that's so good.
Yeah,
that's so good.
It's amazing what a gift to grow with somebody that way, and it's been one of the greatest things watching her grow too.
Yeah.
And me, I'm sure of it. Yeah. We're very different people.
You're married. You have kids.
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
2 children.
How old?
2 little boys, 6 and 8.
Okay.
This is the decaf.
Awesome.
Hi. Regular.
Thanks, Mom Tart.
Thank you.
See ya.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Yes, you as well.
One of our longest team members at Kinder, Owen, that's his mom.
Oh, okay,
and so
Mom Tart.
We just call her Mom Tart, and she's incredible. The Tart family's really sweet. Okay, you have 2 kids, 6 and 8 boys.
2 boys, yes.
Wonderful.
They're so fun.
What is family, or what does mom life look like right now with 2? I'm guessing wild and crazy.
They are. They're getting wild and crazy,
Yeah.
and kindergarten, 2nd grade, and
Nice.
they love everything outdoors, right? And so we try our family life. Our home is our kind of sanctuary, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't do a ton outside of our home. My husband's got a busy career as well, and so when we're home, No. He does project management work for a company out of Morris. So he travels a little bit, does sales.
Yeah.
He's just busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we're home with the boys. We're either on the lake.
Do you live on the water?
Right across from it. So we have a slip, and we
Yeah.
just sneak right out there most nights.
That's sweet. And do you guys have a boat? Fun. And are you guys water skiing and tubing, or are you just
Not yet.
cruising and
Cruising, sand. They're into
like a sandbar? kind
Yeah,
of thing?
sandbar, and fishing. The boys are just really getting into fishing. So I'm having to get over my fears of everything slimy, and
You're touching worms and sunnies.
Mom, take this fish off. I'm like, okay. What is it even? They know more about fish than I do.
Yeah.
They don't have teeth. You can't be afraid. I didn't know that. So it's so fun. Being a mom is the best thing ever.
Yeah. That's really sweet. Really sweet.
What about your family life?
I have a daughter, Lucy, who's 10, and a boy, James, he's 12. He's knocking on the door here in the next couple of weeks to turn 13.
That's crazy.
I'll have a teenager. I've actually, it would be the first time that I've said that out loud. A teenager.
A teenage boy.
And he's like the sweetest little guy that I've ever met. He's really a sweet boy.
How's your daughter?
She's the best. She's they are as different to each other. Maybe you have some of this too.
100%, yeah.
My kids are raised in the same home.
Yeah, and you're like, how?
Yep, by the same parents. We do our best to like the same rules, the same like kind of expectations for like what it means to be a healthy family member here in this family. And somehow we have two just these drastically different human beings. And it's really sweet.
Do they help out with the business yet at all?
They are very interested. If they're around, they'll sweep or push chairs in and some of that stuff. James is very excited. I mean, both of them are, but James is he'll hit it a little sooner to I think be a barista and jump into Kinder. And when he was, I think maybe 3 or 4, when you're driving with your kids, like the conversations like from the back seat. If you've never experienced like having a kid in the back seat, and you're a parent driving around, just the conversations that happen are wild and unreal. And I maybe he was 4. He's just learning about our world. He's learning about all these things. And he said, Papa, are you the boss at work? And I'm thinking like, well, I have business partners, but how do I? And I said, yeah, buddy. I'm the boss. And then he said, someday I'm going to be the boss with you. And I thought to myself, I have this moment of opportunity to correct, am I supposed to correct him here on well, whatever you are someday, if you come and work, like you're going to start sweeping tables, whatever. And I just didn't correct him. I said, it was sweet. And I said, okay, but he's 4 also, didn't need a big correction there.
Yeah.
and then he just sat quietly. And he goes, I don't think boss is the right word. I was like, yeah, bud. He said, what should I say?
Oh, bud. At 4.
At 4. I said, you can just say, someday I'd like to work with my papa. And he said, okay.
Okay.
So just these fun, incredible little conversations. And, they come with sweet voices. Like the little voice is so cute itself. And then the things that they say, wild. Have you had any thoughts or glimmers of like, man, maybe one or both of these boys will end up wanting to do medicine or follow mom?
I haven't. They've always, because we do call, and the first 4 years I was the only provider doing call on weekends. So they know like what it looks like to help others. That was always my biggest thing, because you'd get a lot of flack as a mom and business owner, right? Like, what are you doing? Like, you got to focus on your family. And I'm like, the one thing I've always promised is that they'll at least know what it looks like to work hard, show up for others, even when it's not convenient.
Yeah.
And I think when you're raising little humans, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Is know it's not about them always.
Well, this is a unique little situation here.
Look at this nice little truck.
Well, we're gonna go. I don't know. I've never been stuck in this alley before. So when you first told your husband that you wanted to leave and start your own business, how did some of those early conversations go? He's not self-employed, so he
right. And really fairly raised in a risk-adverse house, and
he was, or you were?
He was.
Yeah.
I was not.
My wife as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those were hard conversations, and especially at that time we weren't in faith. So to have this faith conversation, and then young children, right? I just essentially started a new career, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
There was a lot of tension.
Yeah.
But again, now we're better than we've ever been. You work through it and you lean on each other. I had to let go of being so dang independent and becoming interdependent in my spouse, right? I was in this like third wave feminism of I can do it all myself and you're just here, to like I absolutely need you. It was actually, in hindsight, one of the most beautiful things.
It's incredible. I mean, it's why we get married, right? Like, I feel in marriage there's this acknowledgement of like, I need someone. Like, I can't do all of this by myself. I need someone to do this with. Yeah, having a partner in your spouse is really special, really,
And the
really
support.
cool.
And I think you see that too. It's like you're capable of, you feel like anything when you have your spouse.
Yeah.
Support.
Yeah. All of the trials of the world are really small when you head home to stability and
And love and your little family. That's
Yeah.
why it's just like I run home.
Yeah.
I love it.
I have said about our little world here, I maybe even said it on the podcast, but all of the businesses and all the things that we have started, they all started because of me. Like I had an idea and I'm kind of wired like that, but they all still exist, at least from the Magno side of it. They still exist because of Cassie. Like she wouldn't have started anything, like, cause she's risk averse. It's just not her, it's not her deal at all. But her stability and clarity and support have allowed them to continue to persist and
Absolutely.
do well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you were both just like shining up?
Yeah. Oh man, it would be brutal. I think that when I was in college, as I was young, Guy, describe to me your spouse. I would have said something like, she'll be artistic and creative. She'll love going to the orchestra and life of the party and wants to. And what I didn't know is I was just describing myself. But what the Lord gave me was the opposite of me, like someone who was actually my complement, and that is incredible.
What you actually needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have some lid issues here.
Yeah.
Let's Yep.
You want to do plain white? You
Yeah.
like that? Isn't that the funniest thing? I know it used to be like our main fights, our first 5 years of marriage, were be more like me, right? Of what I want. And now it's like, please don't. I can't stand myself most days. I can't have 2 of us.
of me, right?
Yeah.
Like
I don't need any more.
even like my opinion. It's like I got it. Like I done. This was I'm in full possession of that one.
That's funny. There we go.
What do we do with this? Should I just leave it here? Great. Bye. All right. So this is where all of the podcasts have been.
Up until.
I guess the first good handful were at Kinder.
Okay.
And then we've done a gob of them here.
Ooh.
All right. And then come this way just because there's no cord. Okay. All right, and then before you sit down, I'm going to snap your picture, and then you get to decide on where you want to be.
Oh, how neat.
Yeah. I mean, who do you recognize? Who?
I'm just looking around. She's from
Aslan?
Aslan.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Shannon is here somewhere. I mean,
look at all these people.
I could ask you this when we sit down too, but here's Shannon. How much did you guys work together on your build out? Like, is it a separate autonomous thing? It
was kind of like, right away, she's a busy woman.
Yeah.
And so it was like one of those, we kind of had this initial brainstorm, and then intermittently my husband actually project managed the element, so he did a lot of work with her project manager.
Got it.
But yeah, look at all these people. I love it.
Yeah. It's been a fun, wild ride.
Way cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want?
Here, how about let's use the kind of soft wood as a background.
Okay.
It's a little bit more of your aesthetic than, the hard brick. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then when you're done, I'll have you put it up.
Okay.
But yeah, it's having a spouse that you get to work alongside of, and
Way more fun.
It's way more fun. Way more fun. Okay, you guys, and then just pull this a little closer.
Okay.
You guys are 5 years in. You have started you already had 2 locations, but you've just opened a new second location.
Yeah.
When you started 5 years ago, did you think that it would get here
No.
in 5 years?
No.
So do you have, what does the next 5 look like?
That had to shift because at 6 months we were at where our projections were year 3.
Yeah,
and
that's
so it's just kind of this all moving and still having no idea what I'm doing. Yeah. Right?
That's the dirty little secret of business. It doesn't matter how long you're in it. You're at new things. Like whenever you get to that new spot, you've never been there before.
Never.
Yeah.
And so, there's not great mentorship in this model of healthcare either. And so you're really just figuring it out. And so really these next few years, we always go back to that mission purpose of Well & Company when we're making our next decisions on what we're doing as a leadership team now. And it's so wonderful to say that we have a team to discuss what's best for Well. And I anticipate a tertiary location. There's discussions around that. Not for a little bit, though. We're really just in the mastering our craft, navigating the ever-evolving healthcare arena, reimbursements for patients, even with political changes.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening. We don't need to be making any big moves because at our core mission, intuitively, I want to be. But we'll never get so large that we don't have that human relationship. Each location will stay community-based. That's where we discovered.
And when you say community-based, you don't mean the company community. You mean like in these communities that they are.
Yes, they are. Like employ locally, integrate within the community, support local businesses, and local nonprofits. Like, deep down deciding you've got these 2 brains, a business and your human response and what you're called in vocation to do. And I know Well is more than a business. It's supposed to be a blessing as well. And so we can only do that when we stay a certain structure and maintain this mission. So yeah, I anticipate a tertiary location. Not for a little bit though. That's me trying to have control.
Yeah.
Tomorrow that might change, right? If you're called to something else.
And could you see it growing outside of central Minnesota? Is Alexandria considered central Minnesota?
I think so, yeah.
Could you see it growing in this next one? Would it stay close-ish? Yeah.
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 Definitely.
Cool.
Especially as we work with businesses, right? A lot of individuals have still working from home or remote positions spread out through West Central Minnesota. So another location would probably be based on where a lot of business operations are happening.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. So the first 5 years have been a wild ride. You continue to enjoy it. What would you, if you could tell yourself, what would you tell yourself? Like if you could drop yourself a line or an email to you, maybe that mom holding the baby at 4 a.m, what would you say about what's about to come?
Be patient and have faith, and you're capable of way more. People are. I think as humans, we're capable of way more than we give ourselves credit for. And when you start flexing that muscle, you're kind of like, what is next, right? I never understood it. Like, oh gosh, to feel busy. But what is busy? You just realign your life to match that of what you're called to do. And I do wake up every day excited. Yeah. It's crazy to say. Tired most days, which is okay. But what a blessing to be tired doing what you love.
Yeah. That's really, really sweet. When you work in healthcare, how do you navigate, maybe this is similar with like finances and banking and stuff, and like friends and family, like coming to see you. Like if you're a banker and someone comes and, they start their banking with you, you're going to know everything about a kind of a private part of that person's life. I imagine it's similar in healthcare. Like how do you kind of navigate some of those personal relationships? And obviously you want to help lots of people, including the people that you love. How do you kind of navigate some of that? I'm seeing you in clinic right now, and then we're going to have dinner, next week. And how do you navigate that? Yeah.
Well, as you get older, I mean, my close personal relationships are pretty few, right? But when it comes to being a community, you're you're available to everybody.
Yeah.
And you see them in church, you see them at school, you see them at the grocery store. I think that speaks into the professionalism that is absolutely required. The comfort level in knowing that this is just another day for me.
Yeah.
And it's my job to help you feel the best and and know these intimate details.
Yeah.
I think when people feel comfortable with their provider, right? And that's part of that human interaction experience. But there are nuances like hiring individuals and then caring for their family.
Yeah.
So there's obviously standard of operations in place for like VIP on their chart so we can track who enters in, to some safeguards for protection for professionalism and HIPAA and things like that. Yeah, the world of HIPAA in itself is a big deal.
Yeah.
Obviously, but yeah, we just navigate it, and I'm a certain flavor provider. We hire a few different providers, so you don't always have to see me either.
Sure.
So.
It's fascinating. How many staff are you guys up to now? How big is the Well team?
I think between the two locations, 17 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 5 years, it's really, really cool. Really, really cool. And are you, when we think about what's happening in healthcare globally, are you encouraged? Are you discouraged? Like, how do you feel? Not about Well & Co., but just being in healthcare.
Yeah. I would say I feel rather encouraged.
Okay.
I do see, if you did like a 10,000-foot view, trajectory of healthcare. However, I think there will be entering in to, and this is just no studies to support this. I haven't even looked into it, but more people entering into private practices like my own, more providers wanting to do this, patients wanting to do this as well, and feeling encouraged and empowered to. And you'll still have traditional healthcare. I think you're just going to see more of a paralleling or a polarizing of who's seeking which care.
Yeah.
But as a human population, right, we're heading in a trajectory. First generation is lower life expectancy than last. And it's like, wow, we're really sick. Patients being, again, empowered to be their advocates, bringing in really great questions to appointments, advocating for their health. I think we're going to see a healthier generation. They're just going to have to work harder at it.
Yeah. Interesting. It's one of those things where, like, I don't work in it, but it seems like so much of the conversation is so sad and so hard and so negative, and to show up every day into that kind of thing, it's a unique calling. Yeah, I'm thankful that there are people that continue to push into the good that exists there, even though sometimes the conversation just nationally is so hard.
And it can be even within your own peer groups too. I mean, I still certainly have most of my walk has been in healthcare, so a lot of peer friends are in healthcare, and you can feel kind of isolated in your own practice, your own world, right? It is Well is my own world.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is healthcare still doing?
Right.
What is still going on, right? And then you either experience it yourself or integrate around peers that are, and you're like, oh yeah, this is still occurring. But it does come down to choice. And I do, again, like I had alluded to earlier, encourage others to do this if they have a calling to have their independent practice, or what that looks like is you have the power as a provider to do that. Even though we're discouraged primarily in school, it's we have autonomous thought, and we can't expect patients to be the driving change in healthcare. We have to be. And step into that.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's counterculture. It's counter healthcare. There's a lot of pride and ego within healthcare. When you die to that, though, it's liberating.
Yeah, that's cool. I think the pride and ego thing I think is interesting, because if you have this ongoing relationship where you've been giving, you're showing up trying to help somebody's like life be better and help with their health. And then if they say, like, I'd like to see somebody different, how do you not take that personally? As like, how do you do that?
I don't take it personally, because I say, well, how can I help you find someone that can?
That's sweet.
Right? You can't be all for everybody.
No, for sure. And as you were talking about how when you're at Well & Co, you can even be a little insulated from what's happening outside. I think that might be the greatest argument for models like this, is that if you don't like what's happening in the national conversation around whatever your profession is, go to an environment. If that environment doesn't exist, make that environment. You're probably not the only person who is yearning for that thing or longing for that thing. If you feel that pain point, there are probably others that are feeling it too. And so, no matter what your industry is, like if it's not going great, figure out how to like make your own little world where you can have a good impact and an effect on the people that are coming to you, and also maybe the world as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought about being a coach of any kind, helping people do this thing that you've done? Has that ever...
Oh, to a degree. I mean, I created a course like 2 years ago because I was just inundated, right? And you can empathize with this. I mean, we have time, talents, and resources. And at the time, my time was so limited. How can I impact others to, if they're really interested, they'll pursue, essentially a 101 start kit that I wish I had when I started. So I do that. Coaching, I'm always there for, but I will say it's a big leap of faith, of probably, and this is round numbers, 100 plus conversations I've had over the last 5 years with individuals looking to do this to have started.
I was going to say, what's the percentage?
It's low, right? And so always there as a coach, certainly, and encouraging. And instead of sometimes in business, we can hold on to like, I did it, I figured it out. Why would I give such a blessing to somebody else I didn't have access to? Well, that's a change of heart posture. There are never going to be a shortage of patients. We absolutely have a shortage of independent practices, like my own, especially in our West Central area. We need more individuals willing to do this. So,
why were the first few in St. Cloud? I mean, like,
isn't that interesting?
That if you were number 3 or whatever, and the other 2, depending on the order, were also here, you'd think the metro would.
That's where they've exploded, though,
Yeah.
right? And so that's a great question. I don't have any insight as to why Metro didn't start like this DBC trend.
Yeah. Fascinating. Well, Sandy, thank you for coming on the podcast. I think what you're doing is fascinating and wonderful. I love creative problem solvers in general, no matter the profession or the field, and just people continuing to jump in and work on providing options inside of healthcare, because choice is great, right? Like, I think that's, in a modern age, it's really nice when you have options. And so continue to give people option of where to go and what kind of care they want is fantastic. And so thanks for doing that. Ever since I heard your talk a little over a year ago, I've just been rooting for you guys. And it was fun to hear that you guys were going to St. Joe. I love what's happening in St. Joe. What Shannon is doing is fantastic. And it just felt like, having seen your first one, it's like, oh yeah, like inside of a Shannon building in St. Joe, it felt
really.
And so congratulations on your success in 5 years, and it'll just be fun in the next 5 to see what you guys do. And maybe in a few years, come back and just like tell us what it's been, and we can commiserate what, the things that we didn't know that were coming and how we got through them and whatnot. But
because they're coming.
They are.
Right?
They always
like,
are.
What am I going to wake up to tomorrow? But yeah, that'll be great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Wonderful.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.